There was a very encouraging report today put out by the team on the teammate on DeVos. So what's the night been like for you guys? Putting aside stuff, football stuff. What has this been like for you guys?
Man, we just thankful that that he was safe. That he made out. He was able to get movement in all his body parts, and just praying for him. And we don't want to go out and see one of your teammates down like that. So we just keep him with our prayers. Just make sure you're good.
How difficult? It's a time where you have to separate anything that's going on the field from personal, the sport from the personal things that happen. How difficult has that been, dealing with that in the last 24 however many hours?
Of course it's difficult. He one of our teammates, one of our brothers, and like you said, we just thought of it as of course if he was here, he'll want us to keep playing for him. So like you said, unfortunately, we still was in the game, so we had to finish the game and think about him, after the game, and after the game we found out that he was good.
Yesterday when we saw you chase down a defender off the interception, you could just see how much you wanted that game. How tough was it to stomach overnight the result of what happened?
Each game is tough when you lose, man. Like you said, I'm a competitor, so me going to stop a touchdown, I feel like it's big because I feel like our defense is playing good, and them holding them to 3 points changed the game a lot. Like, as you can see, we still had the ball at the end of the game, and us scoring and going for two would have been a tie game. So that changes just from them scoring a touchdown would have been like a 2-point series.
Obviously, you only can control what you can control, but the fact that now that your playoff chances have even more in jeopardy, how is the team's concepts in going forward? How you mindset, I should say?
We say our same mindset. We take each game one at a time, and like you said, man, we grown men. We play the game that we love, so we're gonna go out there and play each game at 110%. It ain't like, okay, like our playoff chances down a little bit, but I mean, we still got a game to play. It ain't like our season's over. We still got 3-4 more games, so we're gonna go out and play each one like it's our last.
On a lighter note, we saw the gift that Anthony Walker gave the whole locker room.
Yeah.
How cool was it to see your high school jersey again?
And that was cool, man. Like just like I said, he just got here. For him to even think of that, and he had to go through. I know he had to go through a lot, to get everybody to school, their jersey number. So just him being that thoughtful, man. It was it was pretty big. It was pretty good for this team.
When was the last time you saw your high school jersey or put it on?
Before that, probably it's been a minute. Probably when I was in high school for real. Yeah, because when I was probably like going back, college. I say when I was in college. I went to a few games.
To go more in depth into that, though, when you guys are professional football players, it's hard to buy for you guys because you guys are in a whole different tax bracket. So for him to take that thought, to get that for you, just talk about the significance of that part of it.
I feel like that's really what it is, man. Just like you said, we all NFL players. We all can buy, but it's the thought that counts. You never know what you might need until somebody get it for you. And like as you can see, we all excited. Him doing that, just the thought of him, like you said, man, it brought a lot of joy to the locker room, because he didn't have to do that, nobody has to, but just him going out his way to do that for us, it meant a lot to us.
Kader, I want to ask how you thought the secondary played yesterday. Obviously, there's the 2 touchdowns, but that was really short field situations. Mm-hmm. How do you think you guys rebounded from the game against the Jets?
I feel like as a coaching staff and players, we came in the room and tried to talk about the things we didn't do good against the Jets, and I feel like we took a step forward. Obviously, there were some plays that we wanted back, but I feel like overall we played a decent game.
We saw the update on Grant DeBose today. What did it mean for you guys to see at least some positive news there?
I mean, Grant, he hasn't been here for long, but he's been a great friend since he's been here, and seeing him like that on that field was kind of, it hurt, but seeing that message this morning, seeing that he's moving in a positive direction, I mean, it was like a blessing.
Has anyone talked to him? Has anyone reached out to him?
Not that I know of, nah.
As a competitor, obviously, football we know is a dangerous sport, but that's the part none of us wants to see.
Yeah.
What was the emotion like for you and the rest of the team, just seeing one of your boys down like that?
I think in that moment we forget like the football aspect of it, and we just was praying for him to get better, and his family was at home watching. We were just praying for them and making sure that everything just went smooth, or just hoping that everything went smooth.
What's the motivation, as the season, 3 games left, what's the motivation of the team?
Playoffs. Yeah.
Regardless, obviously the playoffs chances took a big hit. Just to elaborate on his question, what do you guys do from here? I know you guys have to go out there and play, the last 3 games like anything, but you only can control what you control.
Yeah.
And you guys need a lot of help. How do you guys approach all that?
Like we approached every game before that. I mean, even if today they told us that we had 0 chance of playing the playoffs, I feel like we've been working for this damn near our whole life. Some of us have been playing football since before just to get that moment. I don't think you take anything away from it. You still have to go out there and play a football game. There's an opponent across from us that's trying to beat us, so we don't want to go out there and put anything bad on film. Like being competitors, playoffs or not, like you still got to go out there and play football.
I want to ask you about the gift that Anthony Walker gave the whole locker room. What did that mean to you to see your high school jersey?
Man, that brought back memories a lot, man. I was really appreciative of that. I was in the sauna when they got it, so I just walked out. It was boxes, and I opened it with my jersey. It kind of just took me back a lot of memories and stuff like that. That was like probably one of the best gifts I've gotten in a while.
When was the last time you saw or put on your high school jersey or anything from your high school? Before that.
My senior year, first round of playoffs. That was the last time. So yeah, that brought back a lot of memories.
What's your favorite memory from those high school days?
Stuff I can't talk about. Yeah.
With the jersey on, maybe. Favorite memory with the
jersey. It was like our first game my senior year. We played De La Salle, and knowing them, they had that history of like winning all those games, and they were kind of like on the back end of them being undefeated and stuff like that, but they were still a good team, and it was like Cali against Texas, and before the game, there was a lot of lightning delays, so we held out like 3 times, and we ended up going out there and winning that game, so that's probably my biggest memory from high school.
Word on the street, your new nickname is like Santa Walker. I don't know how you got those jerseys, but I graduated high school 32 years ago. You can hook me up?
I got you. Now, obviously, wasn't even expecting all that. The reaction from the guys. Actually planned to do this when the first initial 53-man roster was set, and then things happen where guys get cut, traded, everything like that. So kept adding guys and stuff like that, and it just happened to come around where we finally got like a set group, and it's around Christmas time, and wanted to get the guys something special. Man, I give all the credit to my guy at All Stars Miami, though, Anthony Castro. He did everything, all the groundwork. I got him the roster, and he said I got the rest of it, and obviously paid a big steep price for it, but was able to take care of it for me, and happy the guys enjoyed it. Yeah.
How does he go about and getting them? Is it he recreates them, or is it doing the legwork and getting a jersey from each school?
No, I think he just kind of looked at pictures. Once he looked at the guys, because Raheem had number 31, and his only picture on the internet from high school is number 31. He actually wore number 2 as a senior year, but we didn't know that. So kind of just went off the pictures that we found, and yeah, he did his thing.
Did you expect the reaction that you got?
Not at all. I was literally like, man, here you guys go. I've been kind of wearing it, throughout the season, guys that I looked up to growing up. So I was doing it. I was wearing it every home game. And then when the guys saw it, they, like John literally acting like a little kid, just so happy. I think it was again, I didn't expect the reaction, obviously on social media, but definitely not, from the guys in the locker room, and, just realized how important that was to them.
What is it about high school that makes it so special? Because I know, you talked to me about wearing the jerseys every day, and then I know, did you ever get it for your team as well? I know you thought about that.
Say again?
Did you ever get the jerseys for your team at Pace?
My high school team?
Yeah, your high school team.
Yeah, I didn't get them real jerseys to play in.
But just what is it about high school that, that what makes it resonate so much with everybody?
Yeah, I think that's that first step when you realize, like, I got to really commit to this process. I got to really do the extra work. Obviously, you play Little League and all that stuff, and that's just really fun. But one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans, he's like, you think football is still fun. Like, and, you got that balance of fun and it's not fun anymore. You really got to grind to get that scholarship to really take that next step in your career. So that's kind of like that groundwork that's been laid. You know, I think a lot of guys kind of said that, like, man, you know, this is. I remember those times where, you know, I wanted to get to this point. You know, so looking back, you know, seeing all the work that we all put in to get here and be here. Even you guys, you know, I know you guys, you know, we all went through high school and, you know, ended up, you know, again, that's that groundwork that we laid to be where we at now in the space that we live in, you know, in the NFL world. So I think that's just like, again, just that remembrance of all the hard work that we put in. And then one thing I say, man, like when I started to look at the jerseys was, man, like it's one from every high school, right? Like, you know, high school, it's, you know, 40, 50 guys on the team, and it's one guy. You know, sometimes you get more, but most times it's one guy you're the only guy on your high school team that's still playing football, you know, at this time. So just very special and unique, you know, to have that moment where you just realize, like, man, I'm really blessed, you know, being able to continue to play this game at, you know, the professional level, and represent my high school team, my teammates, you know, my family, all that stuff. So, yeah, just kind of brought it all back together.
You mentioned that groundwork. Is that sort of like a underlying foundation for you guys now going forward, considering the playoff hopes are slim at this point, but you still got to go out there and be professional? And as you said, you worked your whole life for these moments to play in the NFL.
Yeah, man, the standard is still a standard. You know, you can never take that for granted. Like I said, we were very blessed to play this game, and anytime you go out there and you think anything less is when, you know, it ends for you, you know, and you don't want that. We play this game, and, you know, we play it, and it's a kid's game, right? They say, but man, we get paid to do this, and you're held to a standard, and and as long as you have the opportunity to play this game, you got to uphold that standard. And I know, I have no doubt in my mind that every guy on this team is going to do that.
When football is no longer fun to see one of your teammates laid out, like to see Grant DuBose laid out yesterday. Just talk about that aspect of it, the emotions of the guys when they saw one of their brothers down.
Like I said, man, anytime you see even an opponent, right, go down, opposing team player, your team, it stops for a second and you realize, like, man, this could happen at any moment, you know, like where someone could not be playing football again, and sometimes even worse, you know, you never want to think about that, but you know, again, it makes you cherish the game that much more. You know, realizing, like, man, like at any moment this game could be taken away. At any moment, you know, whether I'm hurt or anything like that, like I could just not be out here anymore. So while I am out here, I want to give it my all, and, you know, play for the guy next to me, and you know, keep making my family proud, you know, hometown proud, however you play the game. But again, it just could be taken away at any moment, and for him, I mean, obviously, I'm just happy that he's doing a lot better. But that's a scary moment, you know, as any teammate will tell you, like, you never want to see that, because, again, like, shoot, sometimes, like, man, am I going to be in my right mind to continue to play this game, you know? So, yeah, just like I said, happy for him and his progress, and we're still praying for him, and you know, we'll be ready to see him when he get back.
Is it I guess a relief, if that's the right word, every time you hear an encouraging report like they put out today? I mean, you just never know what could happen overnight.
No
So
doubt.
this morning you hear things are going good. How much is that kind of like let you know, kind of take a deep breath?
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime, like you said, overnight, you're not getting any answers. You know, you're just waiting to see and find out. And, you know, to get positive news is always great. Obviously, you know, we know he'll have a recovery process to go through. But again, it could be a lot worse. And we never want to say that, but it is true. Like, it can, and we don't want to get to that point. But, you know, man, like we saw it last year. You know, DeMar Hamlin, a lot. You know, again, just situations. I think the kid at Alabama A&M this year, like, you never want to get to that point where, you know, man, it's just, like I said, it's a little kid game, but at the end of the day, it's serious. It's life or death sometimes.
Switching gears a little bit, you know, obviously Teddy B, you looked up to him, won the championship this weekend. What was your reaction? First year head coach, you know, winning it all. I
told him, man, I texted him right after. I was like, man, you've always been the standard. You know, down here, you know, just the hard work that he's always put in. He's always been the leader, captain of his football teams growing up. You know, someone my dad would always point out and be like, man, that's a guy you should follow. You know, just watching him play, grow. When he played at Miami Northwestern, when he played at Louisville, you know, and played in the NFL, like, I had no doubt that he'd go, you know, win. And, you know, obviously he was scared to play against Monsignor Pace this year, but I knew he'd go and, you know, do good things at that program. You know, he has a lot of pride for the city, for that school.
yeah, he led those guys, you know, and I expect nothing less from him.
Did you see the video of him celebrating?
Of course,
dancing in the
yeah,
street?
he's crazy. Yeah, that's the side, you know, I've known Teddy for a while, and I know that side of him, so I wasn't surprised at all. But yeah, man, he enjoys it. The kids, you know, I think one thing about him though, like he's hard on the kids, but he also celebrates with the kids. He makes it fun for the kids as well. So, you know, I think that's a positive about him. You know, just him setting the standard for that team, but also understanding like, man, it's just, again, it's a little kid game, man. I can have fun with the guys, you know, and then you got to celebrate the wins.
I wanted to ask you about that. I hate using the term soft when it talks about any football player, but you're coaching kids coming up. There's a lot of flash out there and not a lot of substance when it comes to these kids. In the NFL, how do you find leaders? Are there still leaders? Are there still guys that'll chew guys out, that'll still point things out? Not pointing fingers, but calling guys out. How tough is that in the NFL nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different on every team. I always say that, but I think it's the confidence in like yourself, honestly. And then that teammate has to be able to trust you. You can't just be doing everything wrong and then trying to chew out another teammate. That's never going to happen. So anytime when, you know, you yourself, you uphold the standard that is set for the team, yeah, now I have the right to, you know, correct someone when they're doing wrong or, you know, again, like you said, no pointing the finger, but we all have remembering the goal that's at hand. And if that goal and that standard isn't being met, I have to hold you to that. So again, just that relationship you have with your teammate, you know, again, that's what it's about, relationships and the trust in that teammate. And he knows it's not coming from a place of ill will, but more so from a place of love and want nothing but the best for you as well.
Has it gotten tougher?
In the NFL?
Your generation, I want to say your generation.
I don't think my generation. I think the a little younger maybe, but my generation, I think we're still, you know, we're still solid. I think I've always had a good group of friends outside of football and within football that kind of help hold me to a standard. And when you have that group that, you know, one being Jacoby Brissett, who calls me after every game and tell me if I did right or wrong, you know, just a guy like that though, right? Like we hold each other to that standard where it's like, nah, like some things aren't going to be tolerated, and we know if you're doing right or you're doing wrong.